Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a 50 TP Tyszkiewicza. It's the Tier 9 Polish heavy tank located on the northeast spawn of Arctic region, otherwise known as MAHOU line, under the command of Awppenheimer. Yes, we've got a couple of replays from Awppenheimer for you, starting off with a Polish heavy tank. Now, it's got a 13cm gun capable of 560 alpha and penetrates 250mm with standard AP, and that goes up to 303 with the armor-piercing composite rigid. He does carry a couple of, or three, high explosive rounds, but he probably won't use those during this entire game. But, saying that, you only get 30 rounds in this tank, so yeah, you're kind of short on shells. It's got decent damage, but the problem is really that the hull's fairly weak. Oh, somebody telling him to pull back. That's kind of odd. Somebody's saying that the enemy has managed to make it over there, and he's got shots on a Progetto. Gets a nice hit on the Progetto, 534. So he's not going to go through the southern pass, not just yet, letting the T-28 prototype go down there first. Now, it has got a fairly weak hull, but and a long reload on the guns. You saw there, 13.21 seconds, but it is 13 centimeters, so it is doing a lot more damage. Okay, I think he's going to wait at this pass and wait for the enemy to come up through here. And it's the M6A2E1, the mutant over there. It's got "Oh baby, always get killed" is his name. This is on the NA server, by the way. Okay, T-28 prototype all alone down there at the moment. He's got a couple of opponents there, an IS-6, I think it's an IS-6 black, and a 112. And he's losing hit points, which means he should be pulling back. And there's the 112 Chinese heavy. Takes a round for 615. That's a high roll. T-28 Prot is not going to last very long if he stays down there. There's a tortoise bearing down on him as well from behind. There's the tortoise. Oh no, it's not the tortoise, but it's somebody who's just taken 536 hit points of damage. And the T-28 prototype's taken out by the 112. This is going to be very difficult for the enemy to pop through here, because you see, this tank does have gun depression. It's only 8 degrees, but it means that he can get his gun to lay on the enemy when those Soviet heavies are only going to have 5 degrees of gun depression, which is going to mean they have to expose themselves in order to get shots, or they have to be very creative about how they shoot at Awppenheimer by going sideways to try and create gun depression out of nothing. Nobody around that corner except the tortoise, and I think the mutant can have a go at him, but look at that. Cupola's obvious, very easy to hit, but he doesn't pen it. He was unlucky there, very unlucky. 2k of damage already though. Just goes to show what this gun will do. Limited number of shots, he can do a lot of damage. Well, he's down to 24 shells now. He's telling himself on sideways to go at the tortoise, but look at this. Yeah, easily through the tortoise, 554. The 112 pops up to see if he can get a shot, but I think he's having a great deal of difficulty trying to get his gun to bear. Oh, the charioteers turn sideways on, just as I said they might. It's the only way you can create gun depression out of nothing, but it does make you vulnerable, and the charioteer took a big hit for 563. He's not going to want to do that too often. Now that was very annoying. It didn't penetrate the upper plate of the 112. And that means now that he's only got 21 shells left. I'm very conscious of the shell count on this, because you don't get that many shells in this tank. And he bounced one that came back. You can see where it hit. Side of the turret. But his shell did not miss on the charioteer, because that is a very thinly armoured tank destroyer. And in fact, actually, he's leaving the area because 13 hit points, he's an easy kill. Go for the cupola. Yes! What a shot. 624, high roll, right through the cupola, and the 112 is no more. Now, I think the enemy tanks just around that corner might be still there, but they'll be probably questioning themselves, should we stay here? There's supposed to be an AE phase 1 round here. Somewhere. I think they may have fallen back. Yeah, they have. They've gone. Yeah, they didn't want to come around here. They knew that it was a losing fight. There was no way they were going to defeat a 50 TP Tyszkiewicza. Get it right. Named after the student who actually came up with the design. It's not a bad design actually. It's like a nice rounded turret. It's just a pity that the hull armor is a bit weak and it's very sluggish. Okay, he's going to try and get around and use his gun depression on this slope. There's the AE phase 1. That's going to be his main opposition. There's an IS-6B as well somewhere, but really he's not a fair opposition for this tank. There he is, he's on the corner, and look, creative gun depression, no problem at all, bang, straight through. This really is a very good alternative to the Defender, you might say. Just so overwhelming in its ability. He pulls up, gets ready, and yeah, that was inevitable. This is definitely a good tank to have, no problem about that. Just the art, it's not just the number of shells in the mag is really, really bad. He took a round from the Arty there. This is a very good spot to fire at enemy tanks, I'm afraid. And they're trying to come up this rise. He goes for the T-28, gets it in through the cupola, but he has been tracked. Charioteer, one shot. I'm not sure that's a good use of his shells, but the Charioteer's dead anyway. Let the TS5s and the other ones take out the guys who are lame ducks, you might say, and just go for the ones which still have loads of hit points available, which is those guys off in the distance. So he really does need to start moving. There's still 8 enemy out there, including that thing, the T-28. Again, oh, he's been hit by Arty again, and this time round he did miss because he was stunned. And he's been tracked. Black Dog. Well, he's firing standard ammo now. He could probably penetrate that Black Dog with the HE. Of course, if he did, it'd overwhelm him. And the T-28's poking his tail out. Just need to poke it out long enough for us to take him out. Yeah. 599. High roll. Gonna need one more shot to kill the T-28 though. At this moment in time, oh, T-28's gone. I would have said that the TS5 could do that job for him, but okay, he's now got 14 rounds, less than half his ammo load left. He's got half his hit points as well, and there's only 5 enemy remaining, including 2 Arty. There's the AE phase 1. Yeah, he just got hit. 340. That guy's got decent pen, so he's angling nicely. It's going to make life very difficult for the AE phase 1. Now he's in this position. He's safe from Arty from this corner, because Arty can't loop shells over that rock unless they go to the north position. And most of them don't. They go into the woods, in which case they can't hit here. I'm not giving anything away to any tank driver by saying, yes, you're safe in this position. You're not safe if there's a Burt in the game, but this is tier 9. And yes, he did get clouted by the AE phase 1 for 457, and now he's a one-shot with 157 hit points left. The Arty could probably take him, but there's only 2 enemy left. One of those is a Reveillerise with a 105mm gun. The other one is the Arty, and that's the M40, M43. And he could probably shotgun Awppenheimer. Now, load the HE, I'd say. You're blown to pieces with just 1 round. But he's quite happy to do it with an armor piercing round instead of HE. He'd overwhelm it with armor piercing anyway. There you go. And that's it. Game over, and it's a victory. 7.1k of damage with only 157 hit points left. And that's the end of the first replay. Let's have a look at the second one. Here is the second replay, and you're looking at the Object 430U, the Tier 10 Soviet Heavium. I say Heavium because it's actually more like a heavy than a medium, but it's actually quite a good medium, probably one of the best ones in the game. Well, you can see that Awppenheimer's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his gun, but he doesn't particularly like this tank, which is surprising. A lot of people do like it. They think it's rather good. 122mm gun, capable of 440 output, penetrating 252 with standard ammo, goes up to 340 with the premium. And you can see 340mm, there's not a lot you can't penetrate at this level. And it does mean you do have to play and use a lot of premium ammo. Well, Tier 10 game obviously with Tier 9 tanks in it. And he's going right up to the centre line. He spotted that AMX 1390 going up the hill. Can't get a shot, not just yet. Probably can't get it at all actually. Probably not wise to take the shot, but we've got a T30 around the corner. And a Super Conk. Can you get a shot on either? No, because they're being cautious. They're not going to come around that corner. They know that the mediums from the south have actually managed to make it up to the centre line before they did. And they can't rely on somebody from the west helping them out, so they just have to stay around that corner and hope that their teammates can actually do something about these guys. As you can see there, he's actually playing with the 277, which is a proper heavy tank, with a 13cm gun. This thing's quite a bit faster than the 277 though. Now, gun depression's a major problem, being a Soviet tank. Couldn't get his gun down on the A phase 1. T30. Yes! Yes! Nice hit. 457 high roll. He just poked his front of his vehicle around the corner. Didn't realise he was exposing it. Okay, there's that AMX 1390. The A phase 1. Well, he's up on holding that side, but oh, we've got a couple of interlopers. Managed to make it around this side. He auto aims onto the T49. Didn't work. Now it's 122mm gun, so the reload time's about 8-9 seconds if I remember correctly. I'm afraid we're not using the mods on this replay because for some reason this game will only replay on certain clients. Took a round from the T54. Ouch! Now, how did that guy come down on top of him? He's out the game. How did he manage to get round to get here? Maybe he went up the hill as well. Well, the Super Conk is out. There's still a T10. Hello, Mr. T10. Oh, he angled right to avoid it, and Awppenheimer does the same. Pulls back. Oh, he's just using the front of the vehicle. Nice average roll there. T10, oh, makes a big mistake. He gets nuked there by the Death Star. And it looks like the enemy 1390 has crashed down off the side of the White House. So he crashed down to the bottom without anyone causing him to go. So obviously poor driving. And that's opened the way for Awppenheimer to go around the hill. He's just having a quick check to the right because he hasn't seen that T49 and he needs to ensure that he doesn't get shot in the ass as he's pulling around. See that nasty great hole that the T54 made in the side of the turret. That was the heat round. Well, this is very bad for the enemy because they're allowing him to get all the way around without being interfered with. And now he's got the rear of that A phase 1. In fact, the phase 1's turned in this direction. And he will stay turned in this direction now, even with the 277 on his rear, because Awppenheimer is a much bigger threat than that 277, even with its 13cm gun. And yeah, that's why the phase 1's looking this way and firing this way, but he's not hitting Awppenheimer, who's using this position very nicely. He's got good gun depression by being angled. Another shot in. That Arty's starting to get involved now. I think that was a near miss on the ground. Ah, no, that was a little nastier. That was an HE round from the T30. And he got hit by the T49 as well with an APCR round. Trying to auto aim onto these targets now. Pop up, fire in, pull down. Nice, but didn't get it in. Bounced the rounds that came off. Ouch. That T30 again. He's still using HE. Well, if it works. And he puts a round into the T49, takes him out of the game altogether. Should have mentioned actually, the A phase 1 went down as well. He didn't get the kill on that one though. Here's that T30. He's occupied now. He's having to deal with the 277. Oh, nice one! Kills the Heshbon. Okay, so most of the targets are now over in the west, and there's only 5 left.
Moving to support your position.
And he's getting help from the 212A. So it looks like he spots 212A, splats them. Nice. Okay, Jaegeru, he's got the rear of the guy. Nice shot. There's the enemy back chat. Now you can let the 212A deal him some damage. In fact, the M53, M55 just took out their Doom Turtle. Here we go, shot in the side. Nice, leaves him on one shot for 106, but he needs to get out of the way of that gun because he doesn't want to get hit by the Death Star's 183. The departing shot as he pulls behind that position, that rock. Didn't hit the target. Can he poke out and get a shot in without getting shot himself? Not from that angle, but he's going to go down. Or is he? No. Wizzy 113 GFT. Pulls back. Oh! Ouch. That was an arm-piercing round from the Wizzy 113 GFT. And Awppenheimer's out the game with, well, 2 kills. Yeah, that's a Death Star. Goodbye. Yeah, you're not going to stop him. That means there's only 2 left now. The Arty's T92 HMC and an M53 M55. And they're still trying to kill him, but we now know where you are. And he can shoot you at long range once he's loaded. Everyone else is moving in. The Conway's behind. Well, he did get another round in. In fact, that was the T92 getting around in. The standard B's turned up. And there's a shot that's from the Conway. Kills the T92. The M53, M55 is out of the game as well. So that's it. It was a loss, but unfortunately, yes, Awppenheimer died. Didn't count on that Wizzy 113 GFT at the end. Let's have a look at the end of battle results for the first game. Well, this was the 50 TP Tyszkiewicza. He managed to get an ace tanker, a first ace tanker in this vehicle. Used it very nicely to use that gun depression to take out quite a few of the enemy at that pass. And then once they all pulled back because they just couldn't get through that pass without getting wiped out by Awppenheimer, he was able to push forward into enemy territory. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly, and a hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy vehicles, as well as a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. And his win rate from that battle was 11,612, which is Super Unicum standard, but that's what you'd expect from Awppenheimer. He is in MAHOU, which is a top Unicum clan. If we look at the details, we can see that he actually did the most damage in the game with 7,120 hit points. The next highest scorer was only the AE Phase 1 with 1,869. You can see how much he dominated this battle really heavily. When it came to kills, he got the highest number with 4. The Batchat 155-55 got 3 kills. and the TS5 and Leopard Prototype A got 2. None of the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill. And when it came to base XP, yes, he was the only one to get over 1,000. In fact, he nearly got twice as much as the next nearest player. 1,399 went to Awppenheimer, 794 to the TS5, and 725 to the Batchat 155.55. He fired 18 rounds, got 16 direct hits and 14 penetrations, damage of 7,120 hit points, of which 888 were at more than 300 meters. He received 10 hits from the enemy, only 3 of which actually penetrated. But remember, he was left on very few hit points at the end of the game because although he had 5 non-penetrations, he had 3 hits by way of splash damage. And it's the Arty that actually removed most of the hit points towards the end of the game. He blocked damage of 1,810 hit points in total. He earned 7,479 credits. So yes, a very small amount of credits, but he did fire a lot of premium ammo. As you can see, in fact, he used up all the premium ammo. Although he didn't use up all the shells in the magazine, though, that was surprising because you only get 30 shells in the Tyszkiewicza. So you can see that his ammo costs were rather high, but he still made a profit, even so, because he had a nice earning for the actual battle, and he had boosters as well, which managed to make up the difference. He earned 5,247 XP from the game, and he did get a reward as well for completing a mission, so on top of that. But he certainly, it seems to like this tank more than he likes the other one, and first place tanker, I think, and I wouldn't be long before he gets 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of this one. Let's have a look at the second battle, the 430U. Well, that was the 3rd mark battle. Yep, he actually managed to get above the 95% mark at that point. Only got a first class tanker, but he did get a spotter as well for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. And on top of that, he got a fire for effect and a bruise medal and a patrol duty. Surprisingly, well, he was a medium tank and he was in very good positions, allowing his teammates to get damage on the enemy. And yeah, that's the job of a medium, to allow other people to actually, well, it's not the primary job of a medium, that's really the primary job of a light tank, but a medium tank who's flexible, moves around the battlefield, can actually get information which allows your teammates to do the damage on the enemy. 4,136 was the win rate from this game. If we look at the team score, we can see, yes, he did get the highest damage on his team, but not the highest damage in the game overall. The high caliber went to that Wizzy 113GFT, the guy who killed him. He got 4,980 hit points, whilst Awppenheimer only got 4,300 hit points of damage. But when it came to kills, it was shared between the Death Star, the Wizzy 113GFT, and the AMX 1390, who got 3 kills before he fell off the cliff. What a silly thing. He must have been trying to lean over the edge just to get the gun to lock onto a target, and fell off and crashed down to his death. Awppenheimer got 2 kills along with the Conqueror gun carriage to 212A and the Object 261. So his Arty was supporting him during that game, and both 2 of the Arty were actually platooned. When it came to base XP, because of his spotting, he did 1,121, the only player to get over 1,000 base. 881 went to the Death Star, 679 went to the Conqueror gun carriage. He fired 21 rounds in this game, got 17 direct hits, but only 11 penetrations. Damage of 4,300 hit points, of which 1,006 were up more than 300 meters. Received 9 hits from the enemy, 3 of them penetrated and 3 non-penetrations, and 3 hits by way of splash. Of course, the one that killed him was a penetration from an AP round. 1,240 hit points of damage blocked by armor. Now, he earned 84,708 for the battle, but after premium ammo, consumables, he actually made a loss, 28,637. And he also picked up 7 bonds for this being a tier 10 vehicle. And he also took away 4,204 experience points altogether at the end. So it was profitable in terms of the fact that he managed to get his 3rd mark, but obviously he made a loss on the credits. But then he expects to lose credits on tier 10 games simply because you have to use a lot of premium ammo if you want to get the penetration on the enemy tanks. So I can understand why he had to use the premium. But the 3rd mark is the really good bit. The fact that he's now got 3 marks on that barrel, and you can never take that away. Once he's got it, you've got it. But he doesn't like this tank. He really doesn't, honestly. So, from one tank that he hates, or not hates, but dislikes, to a tank that he does like, and I can understand why he likes it, because this is a decent tank. Good penetration, good damage, but only a limited number of shells. Yeah, that's a real problem, that one. If you fire wildly in this thing, you're going to run out of ammo. But thanks very much to Awppenheimer for sending these replays in. We always enjoy watching these because this is at the top end of the scale. A lot of people are aspiring to get to this level so they can actually see and do play their tanks as well as people like Awppenheimer can. Because once you get to the top of the tree, it's just trying to stretch yourself even more. But for the people further down, you can learn an awful lot about how to play this game from watching players like this play these tanks. And yes, you think, yeah, I can do that because I can see how he's doing it, and then obviously you go out and replicate it on the battlefield. So I hope you enjoyed these replays, and if you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. Yes, I'm afraid we're still using YouTube, but won't be long before we start using Rumble or some other venue for our videos, because as you all know, YouTube is now inhibiting free speech. So yes, I think we probably will be moving to another venue in the future. But for now, we are here, and thanks very much for watching.